is it, huh?
This is it.
This is it. So I don't even know what camera. I guess I should look at this camera.
Hmm.
But to say the least, episode 7 of Long Term Talk. As y'all can see, it's a whole different vibe. I went from my crib to a nice little studio I found on Peerspace. I just want to give a special shout out to Peerspace. They not sponsoring me or nothing, but they moving the dream forward. But like I said, episode 7, I got a special guest with me, somebody that I met through where I work at right now, through Clark Construction. Her name is Brooke Scott. Brooke Scott, you want to say what's up and give him a brief little introduction?
Hello, hello. Like you said, I'm Brooke Scott. I work with Clark Construction as an engineer. Actually, former because next week is my last week, but we'll get into that. We'll get into
Yeah,
that.
where she's leaving. But yeah, so let's take this. Let's rewind the clock real quick. Well, I see you picking that cup up. Matter of fact, let's start that way. So let's make a toast. Matter of fact, yeah, let's make a toast or something. Let's pick the drink. We're gonna say the shot. Let's do the toast with the drink. So, all right, how I want to do this? We're gonna give a word. Let's give a word to the toast.
Okay.
Any word you think of, maybe based off how your month went, your week went, how your last hour went. It could be anything. So I'll let the lady say the word first, and I'll follow suit with you.
Inspiring.
Okay. Okay. Me, I'm gonna say discipline. Discipline for sure. All right, let's get into it. So, I've been waiting to talk about this whole HBCU thing. So, I personally graduated from Morgan State University, which I believe is the greatest HBCU known to man. But that's an opinion, and a whole lot of other people that come from HBCUs have a strong opinion about the HBCUs.
Absolutely.
We all love them. If you know about HBCUs, it's a whole different experience than what they call a PWI. I actually went to a PWI before the HBCU, so that's a fact. That statement's a fact. Like it's almost like black and white.
Absolutely.
Like pun intended.
No, for real.
Pun intended. So my question to you right now is, and I hate that this seemed like an interview, but I want it to be a conversation. But I guess it got to be. But my question to you is, how has the HBCU? First, you can let them know what HBCU you went to, and then how has your HBCU kind of like scoped it where you at right now? And whatever that may entail, I know it's a bit of an umbrella question, but you can answer however you need be.
Okay, so first, I graduated from the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University.
There you go.
Aggie pride.
It's everywhere.
But yeah, for real. But I had the same experience. I went to a PWI for my first 3 years of college.
What was the name of that school?
Shippensburg University. It's a very, very small school in Pennsylvania, Shippensburg.
Okay.
And so, like you said, it's black and white. So I went to Shippensburg with the hopes of becoming an engineer. It really wasn't working out. Like, everybody was like, it's gonna be easier for you to be a software engineer or computer engineer or whatever. And it was to the point where like they were putting me in software and computer engineering classes because they said I was going to graduate faster instead of putting me in electrical engineering courses. But that's a whole nother story.
So it was dictating your path.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother story. But I'd love to get into it. We can get into it right now.
No,
right.
We gonna take up the whole time.
Oh, all right, cool. That's crazy.
So I was like, I was trying to figure out where I was going to go. So I was applying to different schools and I was getting declined left and right because my GPA just wasn't it. I'm not even going to hold y'all.
Right.
So my brother's friend at the time, her aunt was an engineer.
Okay.
And so my mom, it was his girlfriend or whatever, but they was in school, so we called him friend.
Okay.
My mom was telling her mom, like they got to talking or whatever, and was telling me about what our other kids do. And so she was like, oh, your daughter an engineer? My sister an engineer. So I got in contact with her. She became my mentor. She's actually the person I call my first mentor, Miss Lisa. She was on the college engineer board at A&T. She was like, you're black, you're a woman, you need to go to A&T. Period.
As simple as that.
Simple as that. And so me going to A&T, like, I'm going to be honest with you, that made me who I am. Like,
okay.
Because I was about to give up. It's been multiple times. I'm at Shippensburg. I mean, I'm crying in the bathroom outside of math class type shit. Like,
and what had you crying though? Was it the grades or was it the environment you did?
It was everything.
It was everything.
Okay. I wasn't motivated. Every single person I'm telling I want to be an engineer to, I've been saying this my whole entire life. I knew since 7th grade I wanted to be an engineer. Everybody is telling me you're not going to be an engineer. You don't got the grades. You really can't do it for real. You don't know what you're doing. And then my professor is my advisor. My advisor, like, I don't know when you're going to graduate for real. Like, it was just constantly just getting beat down. And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no support. So,
that's deep.
When I got to A&T, it was like, a switch around. Like I remember I had a chemistry class and we had to buy this software online and I ain't had the bread for it. Okay, I'm gonna just wait it out. And the software you had to like do the homework and you would get money, you would get points for it.
It's like a software.
Yeah.
I think people in our business school had to buy that. You had to buy like an access code.
Yeah.
That's the scam at its finest.
Okay. So I had the textbook. I got the textbook for the low, but I didn't have the access code. I had to wait until I got my refund check to get the access code.
Copy.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just wait. So they like 5 points this week, 5 points this week. That shit start adding up. My teacher reached out to my advisor. My advisor reached out to me and was like, do you need help getting that book? I can get it for you right now. Like shit like that.
And this is at the HBCU?
At A&T. And like we had like the Family and Friends Day.
What is Family and Friends Day? Where?
So they they invite people, families up. They have like a whole bunch of they have like a big ass cookout. They have like a whole bunch of like little stuff you could do. So like we made like street signs. So my mom got like an Aggie Mom street sign.
That's tough.
You can make
like out of that actual metal. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
She got it at her desk, and I got one too. It just got my initials on it.
Okay.
But we could make bracelets. It was like a whole thing. It was like the football game. It was like a whole like weekend just for family and friends.
Like a little baby homecoming?
No, for real.
Okay, that's what it sounds like. A bunch of alumni there, right?
Parents.
Oh, so literal family.
Yeah, it's like for you to invite your family and friends to campus to see.
So they didn't even have to go to the school. Anybody. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's different. I like that.
But yeah, so my mom came down, family and friends, and we were sitting in the science building because it was hot outside.
I know the feeling.
And I don't want to call her a janitor, but she like worked on the maintenance team at the building, and like she came over there and was talking to me, and we was just talking, and my mom was like kind of telling her about, because it was my first semester at A&T, and I didn't know nobody when I went down there, so she telling her like about my situation.
And A&T is where again?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
So she telling her about my situation. She like, yeah, girl. She like, I know the dean, I know the chancellor, I know this, I know that. She said, if anybody messing with you, you better call me, tell me. Like, it's like such a family atmosphere.
Yes.
And at Shippensburg, I never had at Shippensburg when I first started, it was about 10, 15 of us black people, and we all knew each other. We all partied with each other. It was like, that's kind of it though. Like on a campus of like 5,000 people, you got about 15 people that you know.
That's
15 people that's backing you outside.
That sound like that sucks. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it wasn't a good experience. And so like going to A&T, like I said, it changed my whole mental.
It changed like a lot of perspectives too. Like you get, and I was just talking to somebody about it. It's crazy like being like having your own responsibility for one, being away from home, especially you was a little further than me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. You was a lot further than me, to be honest. Being away from home, having your own sense of responsibility, and try to figure things out on your own. Absolutely. Your priorities are gonna get tested. I know with me, bro. The craziest thing is them putting midterms in the same week as I think homecoming.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
I'm like, y'all setting me up to fail. Yeah. Yo, like, what's going on? but like you said, like it'll shape you. It's like you either gonna go to the party and not do your work. You either gonna get your work done and go to the party, or you're gonna get your work done and not go to the party. Like you're gonna be one of those three people. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, whatever means more to you is what's gonna happen because they're both available.
Right.
But you're right about shaping. I had a question I wanted to ask you about. You made a point about the family oriented thing. That's another thing I wanted to elaborate on. Like everybody know, like the auntie and the bursar, auntie all in them offices, and even the lunch ladies like calling you baby. Like it's like I don't. It's just really the environment is just I don't know. It just feel like you belong.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is.
Yeah,
so.
I've never felt out of place.
Exactly. That's the whole point of HBCU. But shout out to NCAT, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Morgan.
Yeah, respectfully. What's the name of y'all homecoming?
Geo.
Mark my words, I'm gonna be down there next year. It's my third time saying it, so it's this.
And it's my birthday.
It's next year. No, it's this year.
Yeah, and it's my birthday.
Be down there this fall. Yeah, facts. So that's how I know. Shout out to HBCU. So we can move on into. First of all, let me make a point here. My show is long-term talks. I know y'all probably thinking what this got to do with that, but the whole point of this conversation is like engineering, and one being a black engineer, and engineer ties in with something long-term because it's a career. So we just how we was talking about college, we put in 4 years, went into debt, got scammed here and there, had the time of our life. Failed classes. I can speak for myself and say that.
You speaking for me too.
All right, failed classes, had to bounce back.
Absolutely.
We done put in all this work, and I must say, like, the degree, it feels like it was worth it.
Absolutely.
Like, you can agree with that?
Yeah, that was one of my biggest accomplishments.
Yeah. Oh, facts. That graduation day meant everything.
Everything.
Getting that I want to say diploma, but I just said degree. Getting that degree, it was well worth everything I went through. Like you said, the times we wanted to give up.
Yeah.
But we made it out to the other end. So let's talk about the other end. So now we both at Clark. Well, one of us is kind of at Clark. Brooke, she's sliding on us, but like you said, that's a whole other story. But let's get into having a full-time job, and this is a whole different form of responsibility. Stepping into this full-time world, and honestly, your whole life getting consumed by a company.
Right.
Like, that's basically what's going on. You getting consumed, and you got to work around the company now. It ain't all right, I can skip this class. You know what I mean? I can not do this assignment, still bounce back, might still pass. This is like real life application. Like, you're not turning this in for a grade. You turning this in for your paycheck to still staying at the end of the day.
Right.
So talk about how work life, like how has Clark, or full-time period, because I know you had a couple internships with different companies. So let's keep it kind of umbrella, but talk about how like having a full-time job has been with your life, like your work-life balance is what they call it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So when I first started with Clark, I made like damn sure like I was still gonna have a life outside of it.
Well, facts.
Like
facts.
That was the one thing, and you brought it up a little bit ago. Like, if it ain't gonna get done today, it's gonna get done tomorrow. Like,
I think you told me that.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
I don't even remember saying it, but I live by it.
Bro, hold on, I gotta stop you there. Yeah, like you said, you live by it. This is the first thing Brooke told me. Like I think this is the first time we went out on site, and it was a time where we was one-on-one, and I can ask you like some, you know what I mean, some questions about, you know what I mean, outside, you know what I mean, that we probably can't ask in front of other people. Like, so I'm like, yo, like, what's really going on? Like, how you feel about this place? What's going on? And you was telling me, like, he was like, yo, I know, if anything, I would tell you this: if it don't get done today, I'm leaving, and I will come back tomorrow, and it will be done the next day. Like, and that. I'd be thinking about that every day, but you can get back to.
But I mean, that's really all it is, though. Like, at the end of the day, we work in construction. Construction is an ongoing process, and we working on a project that's 5-6 years long. We got time.
Hefty price tag, or
no, for real, with a hefty price tag. But we got time. Like, a lot of the stuff that's urgent, it's urgent, but to who? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that billions and billions of dollars ain't going in my goddamn pocket.
Not at all.
So I'm working what y'all paying me. Respectfully, y'all paying me for 8 hours. I'm working 8 hours.
Yo, I stop you there once again. I don't know if you remember today I left, and Buddy sitting at the end was like, "You leaving early?"
Nigga, no. I've been here for over 8 hours. Like, you're bugging.
Yo.
And that's what they don't. That's what I said. So when I first started at Clark, I made sure, like, I was peeping, seeing. We get in there, me and the other person who started with me, we get in there at the same time in the morning. And one of the project managers came over, and he was like, make sure y'all leave at 4 o'clock. Y'all do your 8 hours and y'all dip. Y'all don't really have a lot on y'all plate right now. Because once it start getting into the weeds.
This is a full time?
This is when I first started with Clark.
They told you that? Oh, all right.
I ain't name drop, but you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
So he came over there and said it. He said, make sure y'all do your 8 hours and y'all be good. Like, y'all got a lot on y'all plate right now, so there's no reason for y'all to be staying late to look good or whatever. So I'm like, all right, bet. And so then I'm seeing how late they, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm seeing how late they stay. So, like, it was one night I was going to, it was a Friday, I was going to North Carolina. So I'm like, I asked him, like, can I leave a little bit earlier? He like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, if I'm leaving early, like, I'm leaving like 11 o'clock on a Friday. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to stay late on Thursday. I'm there till like 5, 6 o'clock. That motherfucker left and came back to work. Yes. Like, left at like 3 o'clock, came back to work. It's like 6 o'clock, I'm dipping. He's just walking in. So how long was you there for? Like, I'm like, I can't. Y'all get 8 hours out of me. And sometimes I will say, like, the longest shift I worked probably was like 12 hours, but I'm getting that lick back. Friday, I'm leaving at 2 o'clock.
How you end up working 12 hours? What happened that day?
Submittal log.
Oh, yeah.
When we was building that submittal log, that shit was.
Perfect sense.
And I wasn't even doing, like, the bulk of it. It really was the other two. But, like, I was helping out in the beginning, but that's when I started working in the field. So when I started working in the field, all that office shit got shit aside for me. And it really was on them too. But I still was helping out for them jump. But I remember I was at work till like 7 o'clock one day.
That is crazy. Let's drop a little knowledge on them real quick. So this is another thing I want to do. This will not be, hopefully this is not my last podcast with Brooke, but with engineers, period. Like, this is one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a little knowledge about the lingo, because engineering got their own.
Yeah.
It's kind of like learning calculus. Like you learn a whole
Absolutely.
new language. Like they love acronyms. They, you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of stuff going on. But a submittal, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. You got a little more experience than me, but a submittal is information on a product, or basically product. I can leave it at product.
Yeah.
It's information on a product that has to be reviewed by the general contractor before it could be either bought or it could be used for construction.
So a little bit further than that. Okay. So it got to be reviewed. So the subcontractor submits it to the general contractor.
Right. Okay.
We review it, and then we send it to the architect or the engineer on record.
Right. So
the people who drew, that's how I explain it to my friends, is the people who drew up what they wanted, we got to submit to them the products that we want to use.
Copy.
Once we submit to them and they say, all right, yeah, y'all got it, then we send it back to them, and then they, go buy it, do whatever they need to do with it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in short, that's what a submittal can be for like items. Fact. Anything that you bring on a construction site needs to be submitted first.
Yeah, submittals are a big part of it. Like we could literally be reviewing submittals all day long. They come in, they go out. It's like a bus. Like they they around the clock. Like you're gonna get them every hour, and they got timestamps, they got dates, they got
all of that.
And then
turnaround times.
Then you got revise and resubmit.
Child, don't even talk about it.
We basically just middleman in messages. Like
absolutely.
Like the EOR, like the engineer, or the architect, like you said, they'll be like, no, this ain't good enough. Please fix. We're gonna leave these comments. Please have them fix this.
Right.
They gotta send it back to us for us to send it back to them.
Right.
And then have them fix it, and then come back funnel through us again, and then we gotta hope that it gets approved. So
absolutely.
Yeah, submittal is a cool process, but back to the work-life balance though. What is like one thing that you can appreciate from working in like this full-time industry, whether it may be like benefits or it could be the people you meet or it could be whatever it exposed you to? What's thing you could think of, you're like, all right, cool. I may have lost a lot of my time in the day because of this company, but this part of it ain't too bad. Like what's something that you could speak on?
I'm gonna say a couple things. So like the first one, the biggest thing is like my dream has always been to work in construction, like work as an engineer in construction. And so
dream fulfilled.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And like my dream job was an airport. And so you see what I'm doing. Like, because I told Clark that. I said my dream job is to work at the airport.
Yeah, facts. You did run that by.
And so me waking up every single day and going to the airport to build is like
it's different.
Everything I could ever ask for.
It's different.
Like that's a different type of flex. Like I'm building an airport. Like like my godson will call me and be like, can I see the airport that you built? Like it's a whole different type of flex. And so for me, that's how I feel about it. But I think outside of like that, absolutely the people that I've met. And I said that I had an exit interview earlier or whatever, and like I was telling them like,
you had exit interviews already?
Oh yeah.
Word.
Yeah. But like Builder, for me, and Builder is the Black Leadership Development Resource Group at Clark.
I always call it the NAACP of this company.
Shut the fuck
but I be yo, for real, when I be trying to explain it to my family, I be like, yo, it's the NAACP.
Right. Because if we're being honest,
it's a beautiful thing though.
It's niggas at Clark.
Basically,
it's niggas at Clark, and that's really all it is. It's just about Black leadership, black leaders, Black engineers. And it's not even just engineers. It's Black people at Clark in general, in all different type of forms. But like that has really made my Clark experience, and so meeting all of them, meeting all y'all, like that has.
It makes it fun. Like,
yeah. Like I would not. I'm be honest. I told you about my experience coming to Clark before. Like I dreaded coming to work.
Yeah, weird. That's good. I was still always think about how that was like only a couple months ago. Like
yeah, for real.
Right. But back to your Builder point, like the reason for Builder, this industry has been just like a lot of things. It hasn't been dominated by people of color. So
absolutely not.
It's important that we have organizations like Builder. Throughout in the industry, not even within industries, without this country, just in this world, just having Black communities, like example, the real NAACP, things like that, for us to just be recognized everywhere we go, because it's as simple as we not always recognized and we ain't always respected. So as long as we stick together, you know what I mean, it's beneficial for us because that's how things originally were. But that's a whole nother conversation. But that leads me to code switching.
Okay.
I want to talk about code switching because code switching is a real thing. Like, for those who don't know what code switching is, it's basically like think about you and your friends, whoever you may grew up with. Not even your friends. Think about people from the community, from whatever ethnicity you're from. You don't even got to be black. Like, we're not even talking about black people.
Mm.
You got to switch a code because you may be dealing with somebody that's outside of your culture. That's the word I'm looking for. So it's like, and it's different in the workplace because you come across this person way more frequently. So you got to make sure you're delivering your message in a way they can understand, and vice versa for them. Right. So you got to switch your code. That's basically what a code switch is. So code switching is a crazy dilemma because Brooke sits to the left of me. So I'll literally be talking to one of our supers about something, and not saying that I'm like I'm code switching. Like I wouldn't have an exaggerated lingo or talk the way I may be talking right now. And like I'll have a conversation with a super, and when I say super, I mean like manager. We can just put it like that. I'll be talking like proper, so to speak, how people want to put it.
Right.
And then I'll literally, like within the same minute, start talking to Brooke. I'd be like, it mean like, I'd be like, my nigga. It'd be crazy. It's just crazy thing about code switching and how cultures are a real thing, and how like even like when we hear comments about how they feel about certain areas, about where they come from, and we almost can't even fault them because they really don't even know no better.
Nah, I fault them though.
Yeah, and I feel that. And I talk about it. Because
like I feel like a lot of the time, and I try to chalk it up to the industry that we in, because we really don't see a lot of us in this industry. We don't see a lot of us being in leadership in this industry.
Right.
And so when I see the leaders in this company and they say certain things,
it is the best thing ever.
Right. No, for real. But when I see a lot of us, like I see a lot of people like in management making certain comments about like DC, Baltimore, like Philly, like my first internship, I'm telling them I'm not gonna give my stepdad a homicide detective in Philly. He like, oh, he never run out of work. All right, like.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like that's anything to say.
That's
anything
crazy.
To say. Like, and you thought you were making a joke, and all your little white counterparts is laughing, but like whole time you talking about somebody's well-being, you talking about somebody's home, like you know what I'm saying, like that.
Bad derogative.
There you go. And so, like, it's a whole bunch of underlying racism.
Yeah.
They don't see it like that. They think they're making a joke. Oh, your car's going to be on bricks when you get back because you parking in Baltimore. Like, it's just certain things. It's like you think that's funny.
Hey, yo, it's crazy you say underlying racism.
It's racism.
That is so
crazy. Because you thinking, okay, so it's a big inner city area. We know who live here. And you automatically have a thought of what they gonna do and what they get down with.
Yeah, it's a judging.
You see what I'm saying?
Stigma, yeah.
And so that's why I can't get down.
Ain't never been there.
Ain't never been there.
Ain't never
Let's
talked
talk about it
from there.
Let's talk about it.
Ain't never even even trying to figure it out
at all. They don't even care to think about it. They don't. And so that's why I can't even. I'm gonna look at you stupid every single time.
Nah, you're right.
Something like that.
You gotta fault them. You're right. At the end of the day, it's perfect. Yo, that too. So it's just some things you shouldn't even be saying. Yeah. And it's crazy how when you think about that and you think about when you think you're in a corporate world, everything is going to be strictly professional.
Hell no.
One thing about construction is full of cowboys, cowgirls, and gangsters. Like
it's no in between.
It's no in between. Like,
it's really no in between.
Part of it's lit. The only unlit part is the underlying stuff Brooke spoke on. But absolutely. It's cool. Like when I come across people like Jim. And Jim is one person I hope to have in a seat next to me doing this. That'd be
absolutely. You saw he coming to the thing on Friday.
He is?
Yeah.
He be capping sometimes though.
He do, but he said he was coming. He was like the fourth person that said he was coming, so hopefully he come.
He'll probably slide for you for sure. For sure. Nah, Jim. Yeah. When you think about people who've been with anything, people who've been in the game forever.
Right.
Jim is somebody who's what is his title within Clark? He's a VP.
Vice president.
Yeah, he's a top dog, so to speak.
Top dog.
On our project, they call him the GM. Like he literally calls the shots. Yeah. That's how he carries.
You run shit through him before you run it through anybody else.
Bro, Jim be in there off his Michael Jordan in '98 on a bullshit. Like I'm not like that's Jim.
For real.
But like you come across people like that, and it's like damn, like he earned his leisure. Like he can afford to do everything he does because he put that time in and he knows exactly what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And like that's the reason why he has the title he has. And then when you think about engineering, it's like, all right, it's levels. And I would just explain this to somebody. It's so many levels to engineering. Like you got your entry engineer, you got your project engineer, and then you got your assistant supers. Mm-hmm. Then you got your supers, and then you got your VPs, and then you all the way up to CEOs and things like that. And it's like, all right, if you ain't got the answer to something, somebody else
do.
And then even if that somebody else don't, like, it's gonna get elevated.
They know somebody else that do.
Right, and it's somebody that's been there
connection.
Before.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool thinking about it. Like, it ain't. I can almost say there's no way to fail. Like, when we think about our everyday tasks and it's something we don't know, like, our questions always get answered
every time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm glad you're on the same page with me. So that's one cool thing about engineering. But with that being said, and this whole like full-time job thing, like, let's talk about the reasons why we won't let our job consume us. Like, the question is, like, will we work forever?
Hell no.
Like, and your answer to that is exactly why we don't allow a job to consume us, because we know it's honestly
this is not my end goal. This is not my end goal.
Talk about it.
Respectfully, I want to work for myself. And how that happens, I have multiple different ideas, multiple different ways that I want to do it, but it all comes down to, and I actually told Dan this earlier, my full-time job is paying for my lifetime goal type shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's going to pay for whatever's going to bring me residual income, whatever's going to bring me the family, the money, whatever I need. Like, my full-time job is not because he talking about something, you want to be a top dog. Hell no. I don't want nobody stressing me out. Just stressed out.
Bro, you see past week?
Yes.
Bro ain't shaved.
The shade.
Yo, bro ain't brush his hair.
I don't. And that's why I asked him. I said, how was your vacation? He said, not long enough. I don't want to have to, like, coordinate all my projects and all the people and everything else to go on vacation for a week with my wife.
He's on more than one
project.
No,
I'm not doing it.
I get it now. Okay.
I'm not doing it. And so, like, for me, I know at the end of the day, my goal is to be happy. My goal, and what happy is to me is spending time with my family that I create. Going on vacation, traveling, like,
that time.
Not answering to nobody. Like, I go to work when I please, when I need to, type shit. And so for me, working forever is not a goal. I do not want to be a VP, a CEO, a CFO. If it ain't my own shit, no.
So where do you see your cap? Like, I know this is a tough question because it's like everything's going to happen when it happens.
Right.
We don't really know. But ideally, because, all right, I can speak for myself. I always used to tell my mans, like, my bros, like, I'm in this, I could do this for probably a cool 10 years.
Right.
And, like, by 10 years, I should be able to separate myself. So what, like, do you have a number like that?
I don't really have a number. It's more so the funds. When I have the funds.
Right. That's when it comes, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I want to build my forever home. I want to travel. I don't even want to stay in the United States.
That's
I really don't.
I have a whole pot about that.
Okay.
I have a whole pot about that.
So, like, for me, once I'm like, yeah, I'm comfortable. I don't need this money. Like, this money is just, you know what I'm saying? This money just paying my car note. This money just paying, you know?
The money's the least of it.
And that's the thing. So, like, I love the experience that I'm getting. I love the experience that I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. But, like, I don't want to work for somebody else forever. I'm not trying to answer to nobody. I got goals and aspirations of my own, so I don't really have a timeline on it. It's just a matter of when that shit happen.
Facts. You want to take a shot to that?
Take a shot to that.
Let's do that.
This shit double shot, so I'm not taking the whole thing.
Yeah,
respectfully.
I think I agree with you. That's why I poured a little bit of mine. Yo, hold on. Look at that. Look at this, yo. All
right, chill on me.
This shot is crazy. Good. Some good tequila going around. All right, everything is transitioning perfectly right now. So we're talking about working outside of work,
right?
And like you said, this is just a step in our lives.
Absolutely.
Because this funds everything. That's how I always looked at it. Like, put in all that time in school, get the job. Let's fund the dreams. Like, come on, because we gotta have that time. Like, it ain't about the money; it's about the freedom.
Yeah.
So it's like freedom, opportunities, making money, gaining wealth. It all comes with certain things you got to do,
right,
to obtain these things. And one of those things is networking. One thing I like about Brooke has, and this is me from the outside looking in, I could be wrong, I don't know, she could be fronting, which I doubt, but Brooke, she has a network, know how to keep a network, and, like, I feel like she know I want to say you know all the right people. Like, you knew somebody for Nesby, I mean, you had like a cool connection with everybody in Builder. Like even talking about the people that put you on to certain things. You knew somebody, just like the person you met in the school. I feel like you can keep a network, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, this is my point. When you was telling me about school and all the different things you were involved in,
right.
I knew you wasn't shy of people, and you knew like being around people type of thing is beneficial.
Absolutely.
Right. So like, how do you? And this is one thing. I was very introverted for a lot of my and I'm still growing out of that. Like, just being introverted and not really wanting to talk to people. But I realized that's not in my best interest at all. And I'm like trying to become a better networker. You know what I mean? And keeping relationships, having relationships, even with women. This is a whole nother conversation. Having relationships with women that's more than sex. Like, you gotta have platonic relationships.
Yeah.
You gotta keep in contact with people that, you know what I mean? You gotta be a benefit to people before you try to get them to do things for you. Like, that's all a part of networking. So, like, how do you feel about networking? Like, what's your insights and what's your thoughts on the importance of networking?
It's the most important thing. Like, literally, especially us as Black engineers. Like, we are in a field that is not really many of us. So, I think I never really knew the importance of networking when I was at SHIP. Like,
facts.
I wasn't involved. I was doing the same, like we talked about. I was doing the same shit. Like, I was not going to orgs.
Damn, they're hiding from people.
Yeah, for real. Word. Only thing that I was involved with was dancing on a dance team, and it was no engineers in there. I was the only Black woman engineer, and so they had like a woman engineer group. But like, I'm like, I don't fuck with none of them for real. Like, but once I really realized what networking could do for you, it was when I came to A&T.
Right.
It was when I came to A&T.
Right.
When I got to A&T, they like, yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, because it's who you know, not what you know. It's who you know, not what you know.
Gosh, that's such a. I could get that tattoo.
Like, for real, I done heard that shit so much, so I'm like, all right, let's see what's really what or whatever. And so like, once I really started networking and like figuring out people, I'm like, all right, yeah, like, I got people contacting me because they like trying to figure out what's up with Clark, or they got people contacting me trying to figure out what's up with this, and it's like it really is kind of a mixture. And I had the dean of the college of the graduate college, just telling me this. It's really what you know and who you know.
Perfect mix.
Because who you know gets you in the door, but what you know keep you there.
Ooh, say that one more time. And this is gonna be the shot.
Nah,
and the power, the camera gonna be right on you. Say that one more time, please.
Like I said, what you know gets you into the door. Who you know keeps you there. And so gem. Like, as a gem. You really got to network, especially, like I said, especially in this industry, because it's not really that many of us. So when we going out and we looking for other jobs and we doing whatever, it's like, oh yeah, Dante was an engineer at Clark. I heard Clark got a real good training program. Like, I want him to come over here to my black owned general contractor company. Yeah, come slide, like type shit. So I think that networking is definitely the biggest thing that you could do.
Right.
And what my mentors, because I have a couple mentors, but one of my mentors, one of the things that she drilled in my head was not only getting the network, but maintaining it. So
right.
My mentors and my people I classify as my mentors, I don't hear from them for 6 months. Oh, hey, how you doing? What's up with you? What's going on in your world? Hey, let's get on Zoom for a chat. Let's get on Zoom for a tea time or something like that. Like, maintaining that, making sure that, like you said, it's not just me asking you for stuff, but it's also a beneficial relationship.
Exactly.
So, like, I have a mentor who's in a general contractor. She's in construction, Black woman in construction. She's a project manager, and, like, you could tell she be going through it. And so I reach out to her, how your job been? And she'll tell me all the shit that the white men how they been treating her. And we'll sit there and just talk. And I'll tell her about what I got going on. She'll tell me what she got going on, and that's it. And we'll talk another 6 months. Like, literally, she hit me up today. Today. Was like, yeah, when do you start your graduate program? I told her. She started her MBA program in October. So, like, maintaining it, making sure that you continue to reach out to the people, even if it don't benefit you at all. Hey, what you doing? How you doing? I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? So, yeah, getting the network, putting yourself out there, meeting new people, but also maintaining it and making sure that it's not just a one-sided thing. Like,
that's a great point.
So, that's my point on it.
Yeah, that's a wonderful point. Network, and then a part of your network is having those mentors, which
absolutely.
Is and mentor. One thing I want people to understand: mentors come in a bunch of different forms. Like, Brooke has mentors who she talked to. You could also have a mentor that you may have never met. Like, it's people that I listen to on pods, that provide such vital and useful information to me.
Mm-hmm.
Never met the person, but they're my mentor because I'm tapping into their information every day.
And see, I never looked at it like that.
And
For me, I always looked at it as like people who pouring into me.
Right.
But like now that you're saying it, I'm like, I got a couple more mentors.
Yeah, like your mentor don't always have to be somebody
right.
you can shake their hand. Like,
right.
But it's a mentor is really somebody that's just giving you guidance. And the biggest thing about mentors is they're providing their mistakes to you because they just want you to have a clean path. And that's really what, not even like engineering, like that's what life is about.
That's life, yeah.
You know what I mean? People pay for people's mistakes
For
because this is just like that's what I was getting at with the Patreon. Like that's why I pay for the Patreon because I'm paying for somebody's mistakes. As simple as that. Like I'm getting a clear path. And when you think about that from the other way, if I'm the person that already made the mistakes, it should be your job to make it easier for other people.
Absolutely.
Especially within communities like ours, like our culture. Like we shouldn't be gatekeeping information. Like stuff. We should be, if somebody, like for example, if somebody has a show, a financial literacy show, and he's dropping gems, if you take his information, you're supposed to give it back to your people.
Absolutely.
Like you shouldn't even see it as stealing information.
Right.
And the person who's delivering that information shouldn't even be seeing it as he's stealing my information.
Right.
That should be the goal. Like, okay,
right. To inform.
I'm teaching you. I'm teaching 600 people, and those 600 people teach one other person. I'm teaching 1,200 people now. Like that's really the goal. That should just be trickling down. So, networking is important. Mentors is important. And like you said, just maintaining all that is the most important part, which is where I'm at with it in life right now. Just trying to build it and try to maintain it, and try to keep the right community around me, being like a natural born leader type of thing.
I think that's the biggest thing is the community around you. Like you really got to get out of that mindset of like, because everybody can't be with you forever type shit. You got your friends for what you got your friends for. You got your hood rat friends that you go out with and shit. But like,
they be necessary too.
They definitely be necessary. It be having a good time. But like at the end of the day, like
shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I done had friends that like I'm like we're no longer friends. It's all love, but like I can't continue to be with the bullshit. I got bigger things to live for.
So you've been through that? Okay,
absolutely. I feel like we all been through that.
Facts. All right, let's talk about that. I'm glad. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's one of the, what can I say? That's kind of like one of the hardest sacrifices to make, especially when a friend is kind of close. Like I've been through it like with close friends. So it's like the question I want to put on the table is like, how did you feel initially, even though you knew this is going to be something that you needed to do and maybe beneficial in the long run, but in that moment you knew it was going to be tough. Because it's a point of a sacrifice. It's supposed to be tough. Anything worth it is not going to be easy.
Absolutely.
So after making sacrifices, like you may have to separate from somebody you've been close to for so long, like what are those feelings right after that? Like I know for me, it's like, damn, did I make the right decision?
Right.
Going through that little period, it's like, damn, can I continue with this? Like I want to double back and be like, all right, never mind. Like what's some of the emotions you experienced going through separating from some of your earlier friends because you just you see something different than what they see, like just separating them paths. Like,
you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah, I don't want you to lie to me right now at all.
I'm on FaceTime bawling my eyes out with my mom. Like, where the fuck did I go wrong type shit. And like I'm thinking about like I really shouldn't have to sacrifice my friendship with anybody because at the end of the day, all of my friends know. Like I said, since 7th grade, I wanted to be an engineer. So if y'all knew what I wanted to be, like, y'all knew the lifestyle I was going to have to live. And so...
Maybe they didn't know.
You're right.
They knew what you wanted to be, but they didn't know what it came with.
They didn't know what it came with, right. And so I think that, I don't know, for me, the way that I view friendship, the way that I view anybody being close to me, is like a different type of level. Like every single friend that I've lost, I've mourned that loss, like a breakup type shit.
I feel that 100%.
Like I'm on the phone crying, I'm crying home, like you know what I'm saying. So like, yeah, I mourned it as if it was like a breakup from a partner. All of my friends that I've lost.
That's what it is though. It's not an intimate relationship. It's still a relationship though.
Yeah, especially because like I said, all of my friends, like we've been long-term friends. We got at least 5 years into this shit. At least.
At least 5 years.
So,
facts.
like, everybody else, like, I'm up to, like, 15 years if we be in, like, 15, 14 years with some of my friends. And, like, I just can't, like, when I lose friends, it's just, like, it's not something I take lightly. But, like, at the end of the day, like you said, it's shit that got to be done.
Got to be done. And that'd be the difference between certain people is understanding that it's shit that got to be done. And it's like, realizing that this is the craziest thing. Realizing that the world is bigger than where you from.
Absolutely.
Bigger than what you know.
Absolutely.
Bigger than the people you know is where things start getting tricky.
I'm going to drink today, man.
Yo, word. Because it's like, you get exposed to other things that the people around you ain't get exposed to, and it'd be like, whoa, we doing this shit wrong. Or y'all may be doing this shit wrong, and I'm trying to get it right. But y'all just ignorant.
We're not on the same page. We're not on the same page.
And I'm glad you said that. When it be instances, and I've been through this, we not on the same page. I understand that, but when I try to get you on my page, and that don't work out, it be like, damn, like
I can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. And like respectfully, when it comes to friendships, like I don't want to be like telling you what to do and things like that. But like if I see that you're not doing good for yourself, or you're not in a good situation, I'm gonna offer how I feel about the situation.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we friends, right? I'm gonna offer how I feel about the situation, and if you take offense to that, now we have a whole nother situation, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of times when people are in different type of situations, and they never even could imagine themselves being in a whole different situation, because they don't know nobody that's in a different situation. It's like they can't fathom that. And so,
it's deep.
Yeah.
Definitely get deep, but it's all a part of growth.
Absolutely.
It's life, and that's part of this long-term talk too. This is probably something, no matter what topic we talking about engineering now, but no matter what topic it falls underneath, there's always life lessons that come with long-term talks. And it's things like this, making the necessary sacrifices, being around the right people, and just pushing your narrative forward. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to say all you got is you. That's not true.
Being honest.
Might be true, right?
If we being honest, all you got is you. You the person that knows what you want to do. You the person that know what you went through to get there. You the only person that know that. And so you really fighting yourself type shit.
Yo, you in here wilding right now.
I'm just talking. I'm just talking.
She said
how I feel.
The only person that know what you went through.
Really?
That's a fact. Only person that felt it.
That went through it with you.
I like that a lot.
Nobody else really went through it. And so, like, nobody else really could talk about your journey and what you've been through and what you should be doing, because they wasn't there with you. They really wasn't there with you. So
I agree 100% on that. That's a fact. Let's lighten this pot up a little bit more. I mean, we're getting deep. Not that that's a bad thing,
right?
Because that's another thing. The uncomfortable and necessary conversations need to start being had between friendships and people of younger ages. Like, that's a wisdom thing. People of older ages normally do, but we need to start having those conversations. But that's a whole nother talk. But I want to go into like the random segment. I remember asking you about bringing any questions to the table. Did you have anything?
All right.
Oh, she had something.
So it's not really. So I play this game with a lot of people that I don't really like know for real. And I mean, we already know each other, so I know your name. Okay. I know your title.
Okay. So, title as in my career title?
Yeah, career title. So like, I mean, you can explain that to the podcast. So explain. So you say your name, you say your title and what you do, and then you say your dream job, and it has to be a dream job. It can't just be like I'm sitting at home like just getting paid type shit. Like it has to be, and like it don't really like it don't gotta be a dream job, but like a dream, something that you would want to do for money type shit.
Facts.
So yeah,
I like that. Well, my name is Dante. Last name Jenkins. My title is engineer right now. I have my degree in civil engineering. I am an official engineer. And my dream occupation is asset management.
What do you do now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Right now, I work with Clark Construction, which is a general contractor. And I'm a part of a team that has been hired by that has been hired by Southwest and what would it be? AECOM, which is a project management organization.
Program
management organization they hired us to basically get the job done.
Basically.
So we get hired as a general contractor to hire subcontractors to build out this project, and we're building a connector in between the A and B concourses for Southwest, and that's to say the least. But I'm a part of the MEP team, which is mechanical. Yeah, which is crazy too, because I graduated with a civil engineering degree, and they always say that about civil engineering degrees. Period. You could do anything.
Absolutely.
Civil is more like structural, but I ended up in mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, which is turned out to be the best thing for me right now, because all three of those things touch everything. Throughout any type of project. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing is going to run. It's like veins in your body.
Absolutely.
That's literally what mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is. Veins in the body. So I'm fortunate for that. But as far as my dream occupation, my end goal is asset management. I want to have my own asset management firm, and I just want to move. I want to move money. I want to make people money while taking a percentage, and I just want to have good returns. No matter what type of investment it is, it could be securities, which is in the stock market. It could be real estate. It could be renting cars. It could be, and I'm speaking on things I'm involved in now. Like it could be renting cars. It could be flipping certain. It could be products. It could be selling merch. It could be e-commerce. Like, I just want to manage assets. I want to have an asset house, kind of like Vanguard, kind of like Fidelity, like the big dogs we think of. They control assets. They buy assets, and they make their investors positive returns for years to come. So that's my end goal.
Okay.
That's where I see myself at. Yep.
I fuck with the vision.
I appreciate it. How about you? What's the word on you?
So, like I said earlier, I'm Brooke Scott. I am also an engineer at Clark Construction. That is my title, engineer. I'm also a part of the systems team, which is the MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, but my background is in electrical. That's what you
got your degree in.
Yeah, my background is electrical engineering. I actually came to Clark because they had the systems team. No other general contractor that I looked at had a set team for MEP. So that's kind of what led me to Clark Construction. But so a little bit about what I do. We help coordinate mechanical, electrical, and plumbing in the building that we working in. My dream occupation, if y'all have seen the show on what is it, Lifetime or TLC, one of the two. I think it's Lifetime. No, it's TLC.
What kind of show is it?
It's 100 Day Dream Homes.
HG.
HGTV. There you go. HGTV.
Yeah.
HGTV. 100 Day Dream Homes. That's what I want to do. But I don't want to do it in Florida. They doing it in Florida right now. I want to do that shit, like, wherever I plan on moving to.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you want as your dream house, and I want to build that shit. And it don't even got to be 100 days or less. It's whenever, your timeline is. But I want to build homes. I want you, like, my friends have always told me, like, when you get older, you're going to be building my home, right? And so I took that shit and I ran with it. So, like, that's what I want to do. I actually reached out to the wife of the lady who's on that show, Mika. I actually DM'd her on Instagram, and she was like, when you graduate, hit me up. But I came to Clark instead. Wow. Because I ain't want to go to Florida. I ain't going to hold you.
What you got something against Florida?
I ain't got nothing against Florida. Oh, right. I don't like the weather down there.
You, what?
I don't really like the weather.
Florida got some of the best weather.
Got alligators and rain and shit. I don't want nothing to do with that.
I love Florida, yo.
I love Florida to visit. To live?
I can live down there.
Nah,
I'm trying. Greg came from Florida before he came here.
For real?
Yeah, I was talking. He called me before I got hired. He was talking to me about that. And I want to work down there. I love Florida.
I don't know about that one. But yeah, that's my dream occupation, is to build people homes. Like, if I could do that shit for a living.
So you want a company out of that, is what
Absolutely.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So would that be a GC thing or?
Absolutely, but residential.
Ooh, yeah. I applied to a residential. This is a funny story. I applied to a company that specified in designing residential. Like, they was building mansions. I'm like, yo, I can do this for a living. Like, I looked at their portfolio. I'm like, this is lit. But they hit me with a test, kind of like the FE exam or something.
Miss me. Don't hit me with no test in the interview. I promise you.
Yo,
I'm not taking that shit.
I probably got everyone wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to take it.
based off my information of the knowledge, like I basically didn't take it. So they was like, we cool off you, so to speak. But I love that dream. I can see that as well. Development. So, do you cap it at homes, or like you see yourself going commercial?
I mean, for me, I never looked at it as going commercial, and I only say that because it was more so of like I said, my friends always said, you gonna build my house?" So I never really looked at commercial. Commercial is where the money at, though.
I mean,
commercial is where the money is.
That's where the big boy money at, but it's not like you can't make money in residential.
Right. So I don't know. We'll see when I get that type shit.
Right.
But as of right now,
you gotta play Monopoly with that shit.
Because like you coming to me, you really like done sat down with your family and everything else, like your husband and wife type shit. And y'all really laid out how y'all wanted to build y'all forever home. Because I know I want to build my forever home.
It's the same.
And so y'all really laid out how y'all want to build y'all forever home. And like that means something a little bit more to me than a corporation type building, just an office building for y'all workers to come in there and work.
Which is getting kind of obsolete nowadays.
Absolutely. It's a cookie cutter. Just over and over and over. It's the same shit. I'd rather build something more intimate.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said intimate because some people strive within niches and intimacy and doing things that they like because they focus on it and they perfect it.
Yeah.
And they get like the perfect homes for people. So that's a great point. But let's move on to the next topic I want to talk about.
Okay.
With you leaving Clark. Everybody seems to be a bit upset.
Yeah.
Brooke is sliding out on us. You didn't expect it?
I did not expect that. I told you I didn't expect that. They really wasn't even giving me a bone to pick one.
And that's crazy. It's interesting. It's like I don't know what they thought, but they gave you what you wanted 2 months before you decided to leave, and then they see how beneficial you are now, and now it's like it's almost like they fought, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
But as far as like, I ain't tripping because to our point about keeping in contact with your network, you know what I mean? Like
we gonna be in contact.
Yeah, like should be cool. But let's talk about why you're leaving.
Okay.
Which is grad school.
Right.
So Brooke, this is why Brooke is sitting next to me right now. I fuck with Brooke because I fuck with anybody that puts me on. I feel like that's what life is about, putting people on, providing the information, giving insight, and like erasing that ignorance. Brooke made me realize that grad school may not be a bad thing. It may be more beneficial than bad.
Absolutely.
For one, I thought grad school was another 4 years.
Fuck ass no.
Yeah, word. That's some doctor
used
shit.
To say.
Like, yeah.
Fuck no.
Yo, shout out to Allen, yo.
Right, shout out to Allen.
Shout out to Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to my boy Allen.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I'm thinking it's a whole another 4 years of school. I'm like, yo, I'm never going back to school. Like, I didn't even want to do the 4 years.
Hell no.
But she broke it down, especially the importance of doing it while you're still young. It's easier. Also heard it's easier to get get money for grad school.
Absolutely.
Like, you can go there for free. And then another nice point I want to make out that you showed is working a little bit. Like, you worked and then went back to grad school and how. So I want you to speak on that. Like, speak on grad school as a whole. Why are you going back to grad school? And speak on how working before grad school opposed to getting your undergrad and going straight into grad. Like, what benefits that was of having that separation of work in between.
Okay. So for me, when I got to Clark, I literally told my manager that day, like that first week I was there at Clark. The first week I started, I went in his office and I told him, I said, I got 1 or 2 years and I'm going back to grad school. It's just up to me to decide if that's going to be 1 year here or it's going to be 2 years here. And so he was like, well, what do you want to go back to grad school for? So I was telling him, like, I want some more experience. I want some more, like, knowledge. Because for me, the degree is the background knowledge. The experience is what you get in the field. And because a lot of the people that's in the field right now are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, you know what I'm saying? They have the years of experience and they don't have the degree to back them up.
Yeah, to put that time in.
It's a whole different ballgame going into the industry now, because not only as us coming in out of school, they already like, yeah, you fresh out of college, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm black and I'm a woman. They like, yeah,
it's definitely one thing to be a woman and another thing to be a black woman.
And so like they're like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And so for me, First of all, the master's degree is personal to me because I've always said, like, I remember saying it back in high school, back in middle school, like, I'm gonna get a bachelor's in electrical engineering and a master's in electrical engineering. I didn't even know what a master's was, but I was going around saying I was gonna get it.
Manifesting that job.
Absolutely. And so once I got to, my final year at A&T, I'm like, I really don't even know what I want to get my master's in. I know I want to get one because I've been saying it for years. Mm-hmm. It's personal. But, like, I don't know what I want to get one in. So I said, once I graduate, I said I give myself 1 to 2 years to figure out what I'm going to get my master's in and if I'm going to go back. If that 2 years go by, I'm not going back to school. So, excuse me. So through my time at Clark, I was able to work with the mechanical aspect of a building, just how air flows, what it does, working on different projects and like plants and shit like that. And so through all of that really made me realize like mechanical engineering kind of cool. Like,
yeah, word.
It's not.
You made me realize that.
You see what I'm saying?
Word.
For me, electrical seemed harder than mechanical. And like when I was in school, the mechanical engineers building rockets and shit. I'm like, these niggas is fucking smart as fuck. I don't got nothing on them. And so now coming to the construction industry,
rockets at NCAT?
Building rockets.
That's tough.
Like working rockets, like that shit. Yeah, power to the people, Aggie pride.
That's tough.
But yeah, so like for me, mechanical engineering never seemed interesting until I got thrown into these projects at Clark. And so I forever thank them for being a part of my journey and showing me that I actually like mechanical engineering.
Yeah, we can shout out Clark. Shout out to Clark. That's a fact. Word.
But yeah, so once I started doing that, it kind of solidified, what, like I actually think I want to do mechanical engineering. And then after that, the process was, okay, well, what school am I going back to? So I started looking into Morgan. I looked into Johns Hopkins. I looked into to schools that was in the area that I was in so I can continue going to school. Going to work.
Okay, all right. You answered my question. Cool.
It was so I can continue working so I could do the school part-time and continue at Clark. But I really wasn't finding anything. I was seeing like systems engineer and things like that. And so like the MVP team at Clark is called systems. But when I'm looking at the systems engineer at Johns Hopkins, they talking about a whole different type of systems.
What?
Like, I don't know, but it wasn't construction based. And so, systems is a term like for Clark type shit. Systems engineer.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I know like a systems engineer, she's a computer engineer. Like she don't got shit to do with construction. So like a systems engineer mean a whole different thing in the engineering school, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so I'm like, I'm not seeing anything construction wise. So I'm like, let me go back and look at A&T, see what they got to offer. And so I go back.
Exactly what you need.
Listen. And so I go back to A&T. I'm looking and I see a professor and he's doing HVAC. And I'm like, HVAC? That's construction. And sure enough, he got a project with one of the biggest mechanical manufacturers in the USA.
Drop their name.
I ain't gonna drop their name.
You ain't gonna drop their name? All right, cool. Respectfully.
I ain't gonna drop their name.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So yeah, they got a project with them doing the whole HVAC system or whatever, and it's just basically me doing research. So I hit him up. I emailed him straight like that. I heard you. I said, let's set up a Zoom call. We set up a Zoom call. I'm at work. I go, this before PMO had moved into their office and shit.
Oh, this is at the old spot?
No, this at the new spot.
Okay.
This before they had moved into that last hallway.
Oh, okay. Oh, you went over there to have a call. Copy.
It was the day one of the subcontractors had this before you got here. A subcontractor had a cookout. They had brought a Jimmy's seafood food truck outside.
One of the subs was bringing the GC food? When
appreciation lunch.
They gave us
all them pins.
Hold on, first of all, what sub was this?
H&B.
Oh, all right, it's sturdy. I see where all the merch came from.
They gave us the cups. They gave us the airplanes. They gave us the pins. They was giving a whole bunch of shit.
Shout out Jeff.
No, for real. I love Jeff. That's my nigga.
Shout out Jeff.
But yeah, him. And so they had the Jimmy seafood truck come out. They was giving, and everything was free. Everything was free. You ain't had to pay for nothing.
Crazy.
Yes, they paid for all that shit. And so,
hold on. I'm sorry, but I gotta stop you.
No problem.
Because I gotta figure out why H&B did this.
It was between package 1 and package 2.
Did they have one of the biggest contracts right now?
A big contract.
All right,
I don't want to say. I don't know if they had the biggest. I can't speak on they had the biggest.
Big enough for them to do that.
Yeah,
okay.
They had a lot of work in package 1.
Okay.
Package 2, they only have lower level roadway and cup, and then they're working under Siemens under package 2. We didn't get them for. We should have fucking got them, but I'm gonna shut my mouth. But yeah, so it was that day. So I went into is now Bob's office. But I went to his office and had a talk with the professor. And I told him, I said, listen, I work for Clark Construction. I'm working with the MEP group, whatever. And I said, I wanna do research under you. I saw you doing some research in HVAC. I'm trying to do it. So he like, all right, come out to the lab. So I came out to the lab. I saw what he was doing. He told me what he was doing. I met the other research students and everything else. And
how many other?
He got about a good 10 people, but I met one other one. Because for me, my biggest problem was funding. I'm not paying for a graduate degree. If y'all got niggas paying for the graduate degree, I am not paying for that shit.
I'm not trying to pay either.
And so that was one of the things that I looked into. So, but once I reached out to him, it was cool. And we've been in contact ever since. Like I said, I just was filling out my human resources paperwork earlier. So, yeah.
That's tough. Grad school. Brooke got me wanting to go back to grad school.
I told him to come on.
Grad school. My only thing is, like, what am I going to go back for?
And that's the thing that you got to figure out. Because I can't figure that out for you.
I feel like I was thrown in, you know how somebody pick you up and throw you in a pool?
Absolutely.
I feel like I was thrown in a pool of MEP, which I like it. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't get to tap into my structural thing. I was trying to, when I came into Clark, I was trying to just be such a sponge. Like, yo, I'm down with whatever because I just want to learn, which is not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
But I kind of drifted away from my discipline, which is also not a bad thing. But I feel like I need to tap in with my discipline and then decide what I want to do for grad school.
So what's your discipline? Like, what are you interested in?
Like, still, and like how everything Robbie does. Robbie, Greg, that doesn't answer this for everybody listening, but like footings in concrete, steel erection, everything that transfers loads. I could put it like that.
Right.
Like that's like I like with my electives in school, I took structural classes, structural design, all load transfer, moment connections, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it seemed crazy, but it's simpler. I mean, no, I can't even say that. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's not. It all depends. But I know, I just, you know, some things you just feel in you.
No,
like,
I get it. I get it.
And that's what I rock with. Like, being at them foreman's meetings, listening to the Clark Concrete, talking about what they talk about, seeing what Robbie does when he broke things down to me when I was doing the material tracking log. I'm like, yo, that's civil right there.
Right.
And even further than that, like, civil is really infrastructure. Like, I want to have a project doing a bridge. I know Clark doesn't, I know that's they more do. Atkinson's.
I'm about to say they do. It's Clark Civil.
Right.
That's why I told them, I said, if y'all not putting me on the airport, do not put me on no bridge, no road, no none of that shit. I said, I want to do an airport or put me on base. I don't want to do none of that other shit.
What's Clark Base again?
Clark Base is the apartment buildings,
like
the offices, all that. That's Clark Base. If I'm not doing an airport, put me on Clark Base.
That's crazy.
Because I don't want to build no bridge, no road. I ain't got
that. It seems so boring. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it depend on what you like. I know a lot of civil engineers that go into that. I'm electrical. What the fuck am I doing in a bridge?
You have no purpose.
I have no purpose at a bridge.
The little lights that go across.
I don't got shit. I don't want to do that.
But the thing I like is like, and I follow this thing on TikTok that breaks all this stuff down. Is like how they it's how they dig deep into like the water. Like I want to build a bridge across the ocean. Is what I'm saying. I want to be a part of that. I want to test my like what they call it afraid of heights thing type of thing. Like Golden Gate Bridge type shit, like Delaware Memorial. I want to be a part of that, but that's civil. Like roads, I can care less about roads. That don't seem too interesting. But a bridge. But yeah, that's But yeah, grad school. Anybody that's in school, going to school, definitely think about grad school.
Absolutely, especially if you're black. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know your audience, but I'm. Just being black.
My audience is black.
All right, period. So I'm talking to the people that I need to talk to.
But this
go ahead.
I do plan on posting this on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Because it's engineer based.
Absolutely.
Certain clips, things like that.
But I think that when it comes to us in the industry, a lot of the times we get looked over because we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. We
Allegedly.
don't know what we're doing. Right.
Big on the quotation.
And so one of the things one of my mentors has told me is like, you get as many credentials as possible. because it puts you into the rooms that you know. Like, I've sat in rooms with Clark. I've sat in rooms, I'm the only woman in there. I'm the only black woman in there. And I know what they talking about. I could tell them exactly what's going on. But, like, for me, the masters, the mechanical engineering masters, for me, is personal because, like, you don't have to question why I'm in this room.
Facts.
You cannot question why I'm sitting here with you because I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what's going on, and I know where we're going with this. And so that's why the masters to me is like is the way that the industry is going with engineering in general, but for with everything is like our parents had to have bachelors to get jobs and things like that. Like the last generation had to get bachelors. Our generation, we have to get masters. And It's only going to keep on going up. They're going to need the masters. They're going to need this certification. So I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve. So once I start,
so important.
Stay ahead of the curve. Stay ahead of the curve. So I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve. So once I hit the ground running, it's over with.
It's over.
I'm in the rooms that I need to be in. I'm talking to people I need to be with. All of that. So yeah.
And on that note, for my first episode that's going to air on YouTube, y'all going to see this on YouTube. Y'all still going to see shorts, but this is a full pod. I'm in the studio right now. Shout out to Leon, who I found. Rent out his space, nice space for my first full pod. I'm in downtown Baltimore right now. But I just want to thank Brooke. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad I caught you before you slid. This will not. I hope this is not our last pod. Because, you know, I mean, we got a life ahead of us, and we got more things to talk about based off what we talked about today.
Absolutely.
See where we at later down the line. But this is Long-Term Talk. I'm your host, Dante. Once again, Brooke. And I do thank y'all for tuning in, for those who tuned in. I can say, since this is YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Like, I couldn't wait to say that. Like, share to your friends, you know what I mean? Tell somebody that's going to tell somebody that's going to tell somebody. My point with this, I'm not looking to get rich off this. I have other means of making money, which is kind of irrelevant. But my point behind saying that is, like, I just want to provide the needed conversations for people, you know what I mean, free of charge. Like, this is just what I want to do. Like, this is a hobby for me. I want to be behind this camera having these necessary conversations with people I just met, knew for years, or don't even know. Like, it's another thing I'm gonna get into, having pods with people I don't even know. Like, we just meeting behind the camera. But yeah, I just thank y'all. This is episode 7. We have concluded it. Let's go ahead and toast that right quick. Shout out to the tequila and the lemonade.
For real.
And until episode 8, I appreciate y'all.
Have a good one.